Hey guys, it's me, MidwayJack24 here. Today I'm going to be reacting to the Muldoon Logs, episode 14, Storm Damage. And I believe that I gotta do my regular little intro. So yeah, anyways. For those that don't know, I was originally going to go into college for paleontology, since for a long time I've been pretty interested into paleontology and had been for a long time planning to go into it for a career. Although I would say that over the course of my high school years, up until my second year in high school, is when I realized that paleontology was more of a massive hobby that I love enjoying, still even to this day, and I like learning about creatures that were around prior to humanity. And I still try keeping up to date with all of the most recent findings in paleontology. Although there are some parts where I'm not made fully aware of right away, but for the most part I'm pretty up to date on paleontology and what's going on in that community. Although I will say I don't often go through the bone studies, as I often rely on videos to help make it just a little bit easier for me to understand so that way I don't get too confused. Anyways, with that out of the way, I'm also just going to get the copyright stuff out of the way. So pretty much all Jurassic Park's copyright belongs to Emblem Entertainment Inc. and to Universal City Studios LLC, and all the rest of the copyright belongs to Aliwata, who I can't highly suggest enough for y'all to go over and watch his original video, like like on his video, comment on his video, and also don't forget to subscribe to his channel. Of course, that's always optional, but I heavily suggest that you do, so that way we keep getting more awesome videos. And also, I like watching this series, although I have been doing on a bit of a hiatus because, personally, I just got a bit busy over the last week, so I didn't really have time to record a reaction video. Anyways, without further ado, let's begin. I hate doing this every episode, but for those that don't know, Velociraptor anthrophus is not a real animal. However, Velociraptor mongoliensis and a different other species of Velociraptor is valid because those lived in Mongolia during the late Cretaceous. Meanwhile, quote unquote Velociraptor anthrophus end quote is actually Deinonychus anthrophus, which it has been called Velociraptor anthrophus by a paleo artist in a book in the mid to late 80s, which this actually kind of inspired Michael Crichton, who to write the name Velociraptor for the Deinonychus for his book, which Jurassic Park, which, even though Crichton knew the correct name of the creature, he decided to go with Velociraptor just because it sounded cooler. Anyways, pretty much, there's a pretty big distinction between the two species. For example, Velociraptor with both species are about maybe at most 2 feet tall. That's maybe pushing it for both species. And meanwhile, Deinonychus is about, give or take, 4 foot or 4 foot and 4'5" at the most. At the most, depending on specimen and person, and ways of how to measure. Anyways, yeah. All Anyways, now that we've cleared that out of the way, I would be doing some of my commentary on different parts that stand out. Oh yeah, that's right. We were left off in the shed with Muldoon facing off the raptor that was eating some guy, which isn't good. Ooh. This ain't good.
Oh my god. Muldoon. Muldoon, I'm sending a team your way. Back. Get back.
Ooh, he just punched it.
Back.
Ooh, a taser. Powerful weapon.
Back.
Go. Stay back, you awful beastie. Ooh. Yeah. Go for it. I dare you. Bite the taser. Ooh. Not a direct bite. That should hopefully keep it down for a little while. Because, well, I doubt after getting a bit of a shock to your neck, which, by the way, contains a lot of your nerves going up to the brain, if y'all didn't know, that would definitely incapacitate you for some time. Granted, I'm not sure for how long it would. It would, per se, keep you incapacitated, because also it would cause some muscles to spasm a bit, or tighten, I believe. Yeah, to tighten up. I forget the exact term for muscles, but pretty much, yeah, I say for now, that guy's incapacitated. That doesn't mean you're safe, that just means you only have a temporary moment to, you know, oh, I don't know, make a grand escape. No. I'm sorry, Aliana. As much as I'd like to watch the full ads again on your video, since for those that don't know, I actively watch and get updated on the series as new episodes drop, because I actually love this series and will actively seek out hearing more about it. But yeah, pretty much this doesn't seem all that good, because there's a raptor down here, and if that's just one, there could be more.
Look exactly like one of our raptors. Same build, same markings.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. That's no good.
I don't recognize you, poor soul.
Oh. If Muldoon doesn't recognize someone on the island, then that means this guy isn't from the island. Please don't be a Biosyn spy. Please don't be a Biosyn spy. Don't keep your eyes off of it for too long. Behind you. Yeah. For those that don't know, the rules of which you never want to do, even with a predator, is 1. Turn your back on it when you think it's not looking, because just because you can't see it from your field of vision, keep in mind humans have a pretty limited scope of vision compared to most animals, who can see a lot better and a lot more distance than we can. So yeah, just because you can't see them, that doesn't mean that they can't see you. Also, different scopes of binocular vision, monocular vision as well. So yeah.
I'm telling you, there's an animal in that shed that is not in my system.
It's not possible. Every specimen is accounted for.
Shut it, Woo. We know we know that you're, what do you call it? Just too excited for, well, not excited, or just too prideful to admit that you've made mistakes in your work, and yeah, it doesn't seem
miscontrol. Then explain how Muldoon gets hit by a raptor that doesn't exist on the grid.
Misidentification. Stress.
Misidentification? That's a raptor that wasn't accounted for. I swear, I'm glad for Ray sticking up for Muldoon. For Muldoon on this. Alright, that seems good. Alright, that seems well. But why? Why can't he admit that that raptor isn't supposed to be there? I know it's a bit hard to believe, but Muldoon got jumped by a raptor. Ray saw it on cameras. And well, the capture team that arrived shortly after Arnold's call, they definitely saw that raptor and definitely took it somewhere. So it's well known that that's not one of theirs. So I'm not sure why you're trying to downplay this, Henry. I get you probably don't want to do that, but look, and I mean this. Why? Why try lying about it when we both have, there's both physical evidence of a raptor being there, and not to mention, you also have Muldoon's camera recording it and a security camera in the shed. And plus Ray Arnold watching that footage from the security camera. So, and Muldoon's camera. Meaning, we have technically 4 witnesses of the event. That is 4 more than what you would need. Well, that's technically 3 more than what you would need in order to maybe write it off as something as simple as maybe miscalculation. Because with one person, which is, say, for example, even if it was Muldoon that just only saw the raptor and the raptor didn't appear on the cameras, then that could have been simply handled even as maybe a missighting, miscalculation, although I heavily doubt that, but you never know.
Poor visibility.
He knows these animals better than anyone on this island.
I agree, Bray. Thank you for sticking up for him. I would say the only other person that knows the animals equally as well on the island is Jerry Harding. Although, last I checked, both of them are not going to be on the same page.
Please, this is precisely the sort of incident one expects in a facility of this scale.
With respect, John, I don't expect animals appearing where they're not supposed to be.
I agree as well. That is not supposed to happen.
Not breed. That's the end of it.
Then explain how there are more raptors that are suddenly popping out on nowhere on Newbar. At least on Sorna. On Sorna, they're experimenting with breeding pairs and stuff like that. But on Newbar, oh yes, suddenly more and more raptors show up. There are eggshells around, and, I'm not saying that it isn't possible for some raptors not to breed, but it is apparent the newborn population keeps going up, which isn't normal because you guys aren't importing creatures from Sorna. And not to mention, the big one killed about nearly everyone except for, I believe, Storm in the series, and I believe Randy. Since I'll just take Storm as Kim and Randy as Randy.
Contingency, engineered sterility, it's all in place.
All right. How do I report this? What exactly am I supposed to tell InJet?
Tell them the system's wrong. That's the only explanation I've got.
I agree.
System is not wrong.
Then something else is.
We are not going to escalate this into a catastrophe.
It is already a catastrophe. Some random guy is dead. Then we have proof on the cameras, and also from Muldoon and Ray himself. So that way, you have 2 witnesses that are arguably pretty important and influential for the system going on.
A single incident?
It's not a single incident, John.
Yep.
Manuel fell off the retaining wall. Gonzalez was electrocuted.
Yep.
Mendez was killed in the aviary.
Yes.
Andre thankfully didn't lose his life when
That's
the big
good.
raptor escaped the pen. Now, there's been a workman dead in that shed for God knows how long that no one in this room even knows. If Muldoon wasn't armed, he'd be on that list too.
I agree completely. If Muldoon didn't have his taser, oh boy. Or technically electrical cattle prod, I believe. Oh yeah, he would have definitely been killed. Because last I checked, humans are not that good at fighting off creatures that are more eager to kill us.
What this means? What exactly? It means we don't have control, Ed.
We have absolute
Ray, we
control.
have more immediate problems to take care of, like the
Bloody idiots.
I
didn't think
I
that-
agree. They are idiots, Muldoon. I say the only one that's sticking up for you is most likely just is Ray on that call. Because no one else wants to admit
Did
it.
it get you?
No. Thankfully, I had my shock prod on me. Otherwise,
it would have ended you.
exactly. Double thankfully didn't know what the shock prod was and became curious enough for me to attack it.
You know what they say about curiosity?
Yep. Curiosity killed the compy.
That's right. Good thing you stood your ground with that raptor. Sometimes I think they behave like a pack of wolves. Had you attempted to run, it triggers their pursuit instinct.
That's what I was thinking the whole time. Pretend to be threatening to it and hopefully it backs down. I don't think it had much contact with humans, or that it didn't know how to battle outside of a pack
Ooh.
setting.
And you don't know where it came from?
Oh yeah, that's right. For those that don't know, I did an extensive deep dive of separations for the Pterodactylus in the last video. So I'm going to just suggest everyone just go over there to watch that portion of my video there, but because I'm just going to tell you, the Jurassic Park ones are oversized and have crests despite the actual pterosaur not having any crest. Although I can give some leeway because it does have a little bit of a bonier jaw towards the tip of its mouth, although that's barely more noticeable than like a slight little bump compared to the more pronounced bumps shown in the Pterodactylus here.
No, our 3 raptors are accounted for as of right now, and trying to bring this up with control is useless because John and Henry are adamant that they have complete control. This time, at the very least, it was on surveillance cam for all of them to see.
Yeah, look. They may say things to you in order to maintain work ethic and a sense of order, but John's going to make his vision for the park come to fruition, even if it kills him. I'm just glad you weren't injured. I can fly back over to Nublar soon if you want to have a talk.
No, Tony. Actually, I need you on Sauna for just a little longer if you don't mind. Can you do me a favor?
Of course, what do you need?
I need you and I to have a video call again. Only this time, I need you to show me Sauna's raptor population.
How are they going to do a video call? This is 1991. I don't suppose video calls are technically possible in this time. Because, for those that don't know, I was born in 2005, so I wasn't alive for any of the 90s. So I don't know any of this from personal experience. So I could just be talking out of my rear with this by saying I'm not sure if there were video calls in the 90s. I mean, probably were prototypes of video calls, but I don't believe it would have anything as efficient as like modern day FaceTime.
I want to know exactly what they look like.
Yeah, easy done.
Perfect. Okay, I'll call you later on to organize that. Right now, we're on Storm Aftermath Protocol, so there's a lot I have to attend to. Visibility's poor.
Oh,
Storm
no.
stirred up the entire water column. Filtration's lagging.
Wait. Do you guys see this? Is that a dead plesiosaur? No. Please don't be. Please don't be what I think it is. Please don't be what I think it is.
Where are you? No.
No.
No, no.
Don't tell me the plesiosaurs died.
Oh.
No! There goes one of my favorite marine reptiles that I want to add it into the series. No. That's not good at all.
Oh,
Stutter one.
God. No.
Oh. Now that's just sad. I'm sorry, little bud. That's not good.
Eyes gone cloudy. That's heat stress. Power outage last night, of course. Aviary grid failed. Same line that feeds the heating apparatus down here. No circulation, no thermal control. Left them to cook in the tank. There should have been redundancies. There should have been alarms. My fault for not checking sooner. You just...
Well, I don't exactly blame you for this one, Muldoon, because A, you were trying to get the power back on, and B, there was a tropical storm / maybe a hurricane category 1 going on. Most likely still a tropical storm because you're on the west side of Costa Rica, so, storms happen, but also you're also being attacked by a velociraptor in the electricity shed. So I'm not exactly sure if you are to complete blame for this.
better than this. Beautiful animals. But there were 3. Water's too murky to see the full depth. Could be deeper, tucked into a trench somewhere.
I hope so.
They're resilient at this age, so I'm hoping if it found a cooler pocket, a lower thermocline, it could still be alive. Come on, you're in here somewhere.
Yes, Muldoon?
Ray, can you count the plesiosaurs for me, please?
Yep. 0, Muldoon. What happened?
The power outage cut the tank heaters overnight.
Oh, God.
But I can only see 2 of them.
Oh, that's not good. Honestly, I'm gonna say this. I don't believe that the real-life Pterodactylus could have carried up a baby plesiosaur, or up to at least this height, because, as I mentioned before, it's a massively downsized. It's an animal that's massively smaller than the one shown in Jurassic Park, and most pterosaurs couldn't really carry, I believe, anything that's really about, I want to say about maybe 50%, like 40 to 50% of their body weight at most while flying with something in their mouth, but I don't think it's anything more than just maybe something that they can eat, but even then they can't carry any real big animals up, and that can include, well, for example, baby plesiosaurs, because they're a bit heavy.
I can see the 3rd one.
Well, it's at least enjoying its meal.
That's it. You're right above her. Filter's been running for several hours now, and the water is finally becoming clearer. Bloody hell, didn't stand a chance, did you?
No,
Captivity is a fragile equation. You get one variable wrong, temperature, salinity, oxygenation, it all collapses. Young ones are affected the quickest. They don't adapt. They don't compensate. They just die. Were they adults, I'm quite confident that they would have survived the night. We build these enclosures, tell ourselves they're controlled environments, safe, predictable. But the truth is, they're only as good as the systems behind them, and the people watching those systems. Power goes out, everything stops. Heat climbs, water stagnates, and they pay for it. I should have checked down here the moment the aviary went down. Same network, didn't even cross my mind. And that's on me.
Don't
You
worry
rely
at
on
all
infrastructure
for it,
long enough,
Muldoon.
you forget how quickly it all unravels. This isn't the jungle. There's no margin for error here. And they don't get a second chance.
This
Oh,
is
no.
an intervention.
Yeah. I am not gonna lie. I haven't seen Firefox in such a long time because I never use it, and I'm sorry, St. Jude. As much as I agree with your message and purpose, you guys have been showing me the same ad for at least as long as I can remember, 12 years now. So, as much as I agree with the purpose for St. Jude, I am here doing a reaction video to Jurassic Park Analog Horror, and not trying to outright do anything where I'm supporting something without fully understanding what I'm supporting. Alright?
Done quite some damage. We're lucky these trees didn't cut power to this fence. We would be in a world of trouble.
Ooh. Wait a sec. Is that what I think it
God.
is?
Is she? That doesn't look good.
No, Roberta, stay with us. Ooh. For those that don't know, the reason why I'm calling the Big Rex Roberta, since that's what her name was in the novel. Ooh.
Hey, big girl. Not good.
Yep.
Control, Rex Paddock, I need you on this now.
Go ahead, Muldoon.
Storm's dropped a tree inside the enclosure, big one. The trunks come down on the adult Rex, pinning her in place.
You certain it's not just sheltering?
Shelter?
First of all, if you're sheltering under something, it's not going to be falling over on top of you. I mean, shelter would imply that that tree was down previously, and that the Rex kind of went straight for it. Which, to be fair, is a good move, although I will say... Although I will say it's one of those things where I'm like, did some dinosaurs actually take shelter during storms? Most likely. But I'm not sure that they would have chosen a tree that's, that's freshly fallen on top of them. Just saying.
Negative. There's no movement at all, not responsive to noise too. I want a team here with lifting gear, immediately.
That's going to be a problem. Maintenance crews are spread across the island. Fences, power relays, road clearance, everyone's tied up.
Then free someone up.
I don't have that flexibility right now. We're still stabilizing core systems.
You're telling me we leave the adult Rex pinned under a tree while we sort out fence posts?
I'm telling you, resources are thin at the moment, Muldoon.
I feel like I don't have to tell you that this takes priority, Ray. But you feel free to inform Hammond that the park's rock star attraction died.
All right, I'll reroute what I can.
I have to say, this is clever tactics by Muldoon because, in all honesty, yeah, the adult Rex takes a lot of priority because without the adult Rex there, you don't have much of a show for Hammond. Because the juvenile is, well, still a juvenile, but is growing faster, so yeah. But that doesn't seem good, you know? You gotta wake up and free the adult Rex and possibly get it treated if it got any wounds or if it needs anything that can get rid of any infections.
10 minutes.
Make it 5.
I'll do what I can.
Do better than that. Sheltering. What the hell is wrong with people?
Sorry, Muldoon. I got here as quick as I could. Control is chaos at the moment. But I took the young Rex into the holding pen.
Good work, Robbie.
Wow.
That's 709 with you, right?
Yep.
Ooh, that doesn't look good. Not good at all.
Robbie, stay close.
What is Robbie doing with that?
She's breathing.
She is breathing. That's a good sign. Come.
Ooh. Robbie, I hate to tell you, but that's not how you hold a gun at all. You're just looking like an amateur with a gun. And if it's due to the model rigging, I understand. But when you're doing a gun, or holding a gun at least, you'd never hold the butt of the rifle above your shoulder, or, well, near your face per se, because recoil. You place it on your shoulder directly. As uncomfortable as it is, that's where it lies. Where it lies as you fire. Otherwise, there's a good chance that you're able to misfire and not be safe with the weapon. Although I can be more lenient with this because this is animation, and also considering on how models work sometimes, I get that it could probably not work with that model. Because even when you're carrying a gun or moving around with a loaded gun, you always point it down. Down and away from anyone that's nearby. So that way you don't accidentally shoot someone in the foot, and so that way you don't accidentally, discharge around into somewhere it shouldn't go, aka a person's foot. Robbie, I would suggest you getting your gun in correct position. Unless this is a shoulder rig gun, which I doubt, but considering this is a Jurassic franchise, I suppose anything is possible, considering that they're in front of a living, breeding Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Muldoon, you think she could actually be sleeping?
Doubt she chose to sleep under a fallen tree. My guess is she was on the ground last night, resting, and the wind toppled the tree on her. She may be unconscious. Few more yards and you're inside her reach. Whether she's conscious or not, you want to keep your distance away from the jaws, away from the hind legs and tail. A lot of power back there too.
Hard to believe something that size can just go down like this.
It doesn't usually. Takes something external. Storm did the work for us this time.
If she's unconscious, you still want her sedated?
All
Absolutely. Robbie, I don't know if you notice, but you can go from being unconscious to conscious pretty quickly. AKA, have you ever had someone wake you up while you were sleeping before? Yeah, that's practically the same level. Even though if she's trapped and whatnot, she still poses a danger to any of the crew that's going to be trying to help her out, and to, well, you guys, because If she wakes up during that process, all of a sudden you have a Tyrannosaurus Rex being pretty mean, and also you're going to be having a lot more bloodstains to be explaining, and a lot of equipment being destroyed. So I say the safer option is to indeed sedate the Rex.
Unconscious isn't the same as controlled. An animal this large can come around without warning.
Right.
When you do have to dart one, you don't panic. You pick your spot, plenty of muscle, flank, thigh, base of the tail.
The neck?
Too much movement, too much bone. You miss your angle, you lose the shot. Go for mass. You get faster absorption.
Yep.
You aim between the scales. There are seams, natural gaps. That's where the dart really bites.
Didn't think about that.
Most people don't. They see a target, not an animal. That's how you make mistakes.
How long does it take to bring something like her down?
Depends on the dose, placement, circulation. Could be seconds, could be minutes. With a Rex, you assume the longer end and plan accordingly.
And if she wakes while we're working?
Well, that goes to plan B. Run for your life. I know that might be stupid considering that this is a Jurassic Park T-Rex where they can move pretty faster than the regular T-Rex, although I believe that T-Rex could reasonably get up further than maybe 20 miles per hour at its maximum, but that depends on how old the Rex is, because I can definitely say the juvenile Rexes could definitely run a bit faster than the adult Rexes. But then again, they didn't really have need to really run that fast anyways.
Then it's already gone wrong. That's why we double check before anyone touches that tree.
Understood.
I'm sorry, Geico. I don't need car insurance.
Okay, lift. That's it.
Muldoon, I wouldn't even be this close to the Rex, even if it was sedated. The juvenile is definitely angry.
Robbie gave her the 709 about an hour ago, and we watched her until the crane arrived. Dart to the base of the tail where the muscle is thick and circulation is unhindered. She didn't even flinch, nothing, not even a tail twitch. We took the opportunity to examine her body as best as we could without the ability to shift her. Nothing out of the ordinary. There's a scratch here and there from the tree branches, but no major signs of distress. Her breathing was normal, deep and rhythmic, congruent with a sleeping animal. I didn't expect her to wake. Daytime is sleep time for the Rexes. So we'll have to wait until dusk to really assess her.
And to dusk we go.
She's finally up. Tree came down right across her back while she was resting. Didn't even have time to react. A weight like that pins the torso, restricts leverage. Animal her size still needs footing to push free. So she didn't. She just laid there. Metabolism slowed, breathing shallow, and she slept through it. Would have been different if it came down on her head and struck her skull. Different outcome entirely. But she's moving now. Slow, deliberate pacing. If she were concussed, you'd see disorientation, missed steps, failure to focus. Limp too, if there was any structural damage. But there's none of that. She just seems more wary, a little apprehensive maybe. Like she's now aware that her surroundings can pose a threat to her. Hence why she's staying up near the fence and not at the tree line. Poor girl. Took the hit, endured it, and carried on. That's the thing about predators like her. They don't break easily. All the sightings are linked to the drain.
Alright, I'm just going to say this. Currently, we don't really have any, well, so far, solid evidence of what time Tyrannosaurs would have been hunting. Although, considering most predators in the modern-day ecosystem are nocturnal predators, or do occasional hunting during the day, it's fair to assume that that could be the case for Tyrannosaurus as well. But I would also assume that it would also be a pretty big day hunter as well. So, yeah.
System, Robbie. I just don't have an explanation for what keeps happening. I need answers, and I know I'm not going to get them from the control room.
You've definitely got some balls on you, Muldoon, I'll say that much. If I were attacked by a raptor, I definitely wouldn't be down here trying to understand it all.
I haven't seen the drainage system from this angle. I'm sure it's seen better days. From memory, there should be a long tunnel heading under all the way through the swamp.
What exactly are we looking for?
No idea, Robbie. Just something to make sense of things.
For those that don't know, this is how the wild raptors were getting around in the Jurassic Park novel, where they would go into the sewer system, or really any of the old maintenance tunnels that were rarely used, and, well, house there, start breeding, start nesting, and so on and so forth. And voila, you get something that's a bit more terrifying. Afraid?
I can't see any further. Hope you're okay with getting your feet wet.
Well, we're here now.
Well, I gotta say, it's probably better than any other sewer water in the world, because last I checked, you have bare minimum of human waste in there, along with whatever other trash stuff that humans tend to throw down. And considering it's mainly next to dinosaurs, I would say it's relatively equally as safe as most sewers are. Although it's not a place I'd recommend anyone to go, because the catching of any diseases there or getting any infection types from there could be really not the best at all.
That's the spirit, Robbie. All right, Robbie?
Yeah, it didn't get wet.
Okay, let's continue.
Ooh. I really don't like.
What do you think, Muldoon?
I don't think that's where we should... No, let's continue this way.
Alright.
You should have seen the control room today, Muldoon. It was like a madhouse. John and Ray were at each other's necks over this power outage. Ed Regis was making calls like a headless chook.
I guess no one was prepared for large parts of the electrical grid to go under. Good thing the Rex and Raptor fences weren't affected. That would have put us in a world of trouble.
I agree.
Absolutely. John was like, how do you just lose a sauropod, Ray?
I think I know exactly where we are.
Ooh.
Watch your head, Robbie.
Hold on. This looks beautiful. Wait a second. Is this where...
Mind your footing down here.
Is this where the raptor first came out of? Muldoon, if I were you, I would have had Robbie be walking first because he's got a gun. Granted, I know he's not going to use it on you, but I'd rather you be safe than sorry, because last I checked, you're the only one in this damn park that uses their brain and, actually understands that these creatures are animals and are, and are constantly thinking and are, escaping our grasps.
Asset unknown was first sighted right here.
Yep.
Okay. Which only tells us that it came from the river and not much else.
This is true, but we can...
Oh.
What the
I
hell?
think we found a missing sauropod.
Oh, wow.
Well, there's Ray's missing sauropod.
Yep.
She must have tried to cross the fence when the power was down.
Christ.
Ooh.
That means both enclosures are now compromised until we...
Oh.
Oh, God.
Now that's a beauty. For those wondering, that is not an Allosaurus, that's a Metriacanthosaurus. Beautiful animal, and was indeed originally a part of the plan for Jurassic Park. Nice to see how he ought to include it.
Gal's pushed herself into the Metri paddock.
Yep. And that's it for the Muldoon Logs, episode 14, Storm Damage. Anyways, just to go over some of the copyright stuff again. Once again, all of the copyright for Jurassic Park belongs to Universal Studios LLC. No, Universal City Studios LLC, and to Emblem Entertainment Inc., while all the remainder of copyright belongs to Iwata. Overall, I thought this was a pretty good episode, and honestly, it's got a pretty good intro. It's a pretty usual middle, pretty interesting cliffhanger. And yeah, anyways, I'll say this. This is honestly quite nice, and honestly, I heavily suggest that, all of the remainder of the copyright belongs to Iwata. And I heavily suggest that y'all go watch the original video, which will be linked in the description down below. And to, support Iwata's channel by liking his videos, commenting on his videos, help boost engagement with the algorithm to help keep support to his channel. So that way his channel can keep growing, and so that way he can keep producing more content for us, because I genuinely do like this series, and I keep up to date on it, so as much as I can. And also, this is still one of my favorite series to watch with my dad from time to time, so this is a nice little, series I like watching with him. Anyways, I'll see y'all later. Goodbye.